Hello, welcome to today's immigration tidbit. Okay, first of all, when applying for cancellation of removal, because that's what this is here. This is when essentially someone's put in removal proceedings. They're not here lawfully, and they apply for cancellation of removal. So it means they have 10 years of residence, that they have good moral character, which basically means no crimes, and that a U.S. citizen child or spouse or parent or lawful permanent resident will suffer extreme hardship, and it actually worded severely extreme hardship if they're deported. So to answer your question, it's not just a matter of yes or no to this. Okay, that's where the immigration lawyers come in, because right off the bat, you say mild case of autism. Of course, if I were presenting this case, I would never use the word mild. But it has to be presented in such a manner that it shows severe hardship. And believe it or not, there's not really a definition of that. So it is really a case-by-case basis. And I've had over the years different ones proven for different reasons. And it's not all medical, sometimes psychological, sometimes economic, but it certainly cannot be just what they call the normal part of deportation, the normal hardship of a deportation. Okay, so there's enough here from what you said to make a good case. But if you were to, for example, just go up and essentially say what you just said here, that by itself would not be sufficient. It wouldn't show the severe hardship. So when a case is put on for cancellation, and there's really not an issue with the residency, and there's not an issue with the good moral character, it all falls on the issue of hardship. And again, it's not just regular hardship. It has to be severe and unusual and so forth. And that's where, for example, a lot of times when I'm doing a cancellation case, I'll bring in a psychologist, I'll bring in various experts. In this particular case, I don't know what country you're from, but perhaps in your home country, they don't even have therapy for people with autism. So whereas it might be mild autism here, because there's so much in the U.S. as far as therapy and treatments and analysis and so forth, perhaps in your own country, if they don't do therapy for autism, it could be a severe case there, because if there's no other cases, or if there's no real medical treatments or therapies, then it becomes severe. So of course that would have to be brought in. Okay, there's also times where in someone's home country, if they are in any way impaired, they're just pushed off to the side and discarded, basically. And that would certainly cause extreme hardship. You would, of course, need to show that there's nobody else in your family that could take care of your child. That if you were deported, that's it. It's not like you have a sister or a brother or, other parents or whatever that would be able to look after the child. So there's a lot of factors into whether or not this is sufficient to merit granting of cancellation. There's no checklist. There's no, well, if they have this but they don't have that, then you can. Or if they don't have this or they have that, then you can. So the case has to be made. You need to put everything you have into making sure you can really show that severe hardship, because ultimately, when it comes down to it, that's a discretionary decision for the judge. And if the judge denies it and makes a decision based on the fact that not sufficient hardship was shown, that will be very difficult to get reversed on appeal, because generally you can't appeal a discretionary decision. I mean, there's always ways of trying to argue different things, but if you can put on the strongest case possible in the beginning in order to show it, that's what you need to do. Okay.